Hey guys, it's Jess, your host for Mondays on the Beaver Bunch, and I know I didn't make my video last week, but I did tell you in the previous video that I might not be able to put up my video, and I was on vacation. I was in Connecticut, and Mary and I were sitting in a coffee shop, and I was like, alright, I'm going to try to make this video. So I'm like hunkered down in the corner of the coffee shop, I'm ducked behind a tree, and I'm recording myself, and it was just too much, so I went out and I jumped in the car, and I'm sitting there, and I ended up making a video from the car with people walking by, and it was really weird and awkward again. So I get the video, I go inside, I'm like, awesome, stoked, I can't wait to actually upload because I didn't think I was going to be able to. And as soon as I plugged in, it said that the upload process was going to take 2.5 hours. Now, normally, under normal circumstances, I would have driven around somewhere to try to find a place to upload and get that video out to you guys. But I was on vacation, I was visiting with Mary's family, and that wasn't my top priority. So that's my reason, and I do want to address last week's topic. This girl was saying how she has this really big crush on this other girl who she says is super hip and sort of Shane-like and hard to. I'm assuming that means she's hard to approach. And this girl says that she doesn't think she's on the same level as this other girl because of the way she dressed. Like, she says she wears vintage dresses and like thick rimmed glasses and all that stuff. And I don't know, little lady. I think you sound like you guys might be the perfect match. I mean, what if, you know? Clothes don't necessarily make the person, so maybe you guys are totally perfect and made for each other, and this is one of those moments in life that you just have to go out and get it, go out and do it. I was thinking about this, and there are moments in life, there are going to be moments that happen throughout your entire life where you have to put yourself, you know, out of your comfort zone, and you have to make yourself vulnerable and see what happens. And it's, you know, it's a process, and it's nerve-wracking and it's intense, but it's so good for you. Even if you don't get the outcome that you are expecting or that you want, at least you did it. At least you put yourself out there, and I promise you that in the end you're gonna be stronger for it, regardless of, you know, if the outcome is what you wanted or not. Okay? So go out and ask her if she wants to do something. You never know. Like, what if she's just waiting for that perfect vintage dress wearing thick rimmed glasses girl to come along and ask her to go to coffee? So I think you should do it. That's my advice to you. Go to a coffee shop. It's the total staple first date place, and get to know each other and see what happens. And this week's topic, somebody wrote in and asked about flings, and they said that they're extremely terrified of relationships and that someone told them that they should treat everything like a fling, keep it light, easygoing, relaxed. First of all, that is easier said than done. Whoever said that, maybe you should look at their own dating pattern, because it's super hard when you're dating anybody to keep it, especially when you first start dating, it's hard to keep it relaxed and to keep it light and easygoing. So here's my experience with that. In my past, I would say 8 to 10 years ago, when I was single and sort of just doing whatever, I preferred a fling and very short dating spurts to anything that had to do with relationships or getting too emotionally involved. And that's pretty much because at the time, I was being very selfish, and I wasn't into being with anybody or letting anybody get to know me any further than at face value or just on the surface. Flings are very hard, because if you are like how I was, which is, you know, having the ability to not get emotionally involved, it's really hard to find someone who's the same. And in my experience, I would get involved with someone, and they would end up getting too attached to me, and it would be me having to sort of duck out of the relationship, or not relationship, and I use that term loosely, but duck out of what it is that we were doing because they were getting too involved. So there's that. Fast forward to 10 years, and you have me now, and of course I'm in a relationship, but aside from being in a relationship, if I were single, being in a fling is the last option that I would choose. And the reason for that is because it's hard. It's really hard to, there's a lot of maintenance, there's a lot of checking in, and it's just not, it's not the easiest spot to be in. Not too many people have the ability to keep it light and to not emotionally invest themselves. It's just really tough. It's tough to be that person. And sometimes the community and your friends and anybody around, they don't usually look at people that have the ability to do that as something positive. You don't usually look at someone and you're like, oh man, that girl, now she knows how to jump around and date a ton of different people. Like she can really do it. Nobody says that in a positive way. Usually you're like, man, that girl jumps around, and I have seen her with 4 different girls in the past month. Like, stay away from her. Okay? Okay. That's what I'm trying to convey as far as what it is to have a fling. So, my advice is try to date, okay? Because dating typically it's beyond flinging. Dating is where you are allowing yourself to invest in someone else, and there is the potential of it moving on into a relationship. And I think that's okay. That's perfectly fine, and it's healthy, and it's where you are allowing yourself to grow as an individual, and you're learning about yourself in the situation that you're in with this other person. It's positive all around, okay? It's a really good way to get started. Relationships are terrifying. Dating is terrifying. Anything having to do with, anybody that you're attracted to is terrifying, and everybody goes through it. Everybody gets the sweaty palms and the, vulnerable feelings and the churning in the pit of your stomach. It happens to everybody, even those Shane aviator wearing lookalikes, okay? They feel it too. Everybody does. The difference is how we react to it and how we convey ourselves, or how we act in public. Sorry, stumbling for a minute. So, what I think you should do is just try to date, try to hang out with people. I think maybe what this person was trying to tell you is don't put too much emphasis on the dating. And that's okay. Like, don't try to build yourself up too much and think that this is the end-all be-all. Just go into it and hope for the best. Be the best version of yourself. Remember to always breathe, and keep in mind, like I said, everybody feels vulnerable when it comes to dating. You're not the only one. So that's it. That's my video. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'm sure that the rest of the Beavers have something fantastic to tell you about this topic. And I think that's it. I will see you guys next Monday. Somewhere. It's over here. I don't know. Have a good week. Bye, guys.